By the way, now that Mike's not here, what's your least favorite thing about Mike?
Oh, his personality? Is that too broad?
That's pretty broad. I mean, because there are so many parts of a personality that are unlikable, but like,
Yeah.
which one?
I guess like his sense of humor.
Sense of humor. Yeah, definitely not funny.
He's not generous. I hate the way he blinks.
He's always late.
He's always late.
He's always late.
He talks like a fucking asshole. He's got a nose. I don't like that. Like,
yeah,
there's so many things to hate.
I tell you what, another thing which is despicable about Mike is that every time we bring up the dress on the back of his door in his office, he's always so sheepish about it. Like he's always trying to change the subject, and I'm just like, what? Why is the dress there, not in the wardrobe? Like, what's the truth?
What do you think it is? Let's get some conspiracies going.
Why is it on the door and not in the wardrobe?
Maybe it's drying out all the jizz on there.
Yeah, maybe that's his cum dress. Maybe
his cum rag. He just shoots up onto this dress every night, but he doesn't want it stanking out the closet, so he just has to air it out.
That's right.
Maybe it's not even like that creamy. Maybe like that cream color on there isn't like its natural color. Maybe it was just like a black dress that just over the years just laid up.
That's a very, very good point. I think it's almost guaranteed now, obviously, because it's not Jess's dress. Otherwise, it'd be what all the other dresses are, right? Not sitting on the back of his office. It's definitely a cum dress.
Do you lick the dress? We should make him lick the dress.
Do you think the substance which makes the dress turn from black to the current color it is it the cum or the semen?
I knew you were going to ask this. It's 100% the cum. Yeah. Those little like sparkly sheens on it, that's the semen. But the actual like base palette is the cum.
Yeah, gotcha. Semen is like it's like sequence.
Yes, the semen is the sequence.
All right. Well, with that, welcome to another episode of Just the Tip. I'm joined here by my favorite co-host, Ben. Ben, how are you today?
Oh, thanks for putting this together. I'm doing fabulous, actually. I mean, how refreshing is it to have no mic? Like, honestly, that cunt has been on every fucking episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're happy to not see Mike in this episode, just let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us, like Matt said, to a mic-less and fully circumcised episode of Just the Tip.
Yes, the full circ. Oh. Let's go.
Sesame Daddy!
Snips all around for the boys. Well, I tell you what, I think spirits are high for a number of reasons. Not only is Mike not here, just one too many hoods in this frame, but Benjamin, you've got a new lease on life because some would say you're back in the competition.
I was out. I'd given up all hope, and you can attest to that. And in my tipping last week, I took my own advice. Tip who you think's going to win. Do not care about the others. At the end of the day, it's about who gets the most tips. And the whole politics of, what's he going to tip? Maybe I should tip the same, or I got to tip different. Anyway, I could write a fucking spiel on that, but point is, I stuck to my guns, and I'm back in it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am 1 point behind our leader, Matt, who's still... but you must be nervous. How do you feel about me and Mitch scratching at the door so close?
Yeah,
uneasy?
I'm clinging. I am clinging. I am uneasy because I think this week in particular is a hard one to tip. So I feel like this could be... So there could be a new leader by the end of the week. Let's go through these tips. So what really got you over the line in the end was that you tipped the Raiders to beat the Storm correctly, as well as the Cowboys to beat the Sharks. Both, I guess, would probably be considered upsets. The Raiders definitely was considered an upset. Big balls tipping. Yeah, big balls tipping. The sack was on the table, and the sack stayed on the table. And yeah, you are to be commended. I will say that also, yeah, Mitch is right there as well. He's on the same amount of tips. We cannot let him win by any possibility because he won last year. I actually invited him to come on this podcast, and he said, no, I don't want to come because I don't know enough about NRL. Well, Mitch,
he's full of shit.
Mitch, apparently you do. Apparently.
I'd just like to point out two things before we get into the heat of the meat of this discussion today. First thing, place 1, place 2, and place 3, all Circ. Place 4, place 5, uncirc.
Is Mitch a Circ confirmed? I can't remember.
Through and through.
Yeah, mate. Of course. Yeah, you've got your Circ book that it's just made out of skin. Yeah, you're just like instead of writing in the Circ book, you carve into it. Each page is made out of foreskin. You write names.
And so the two bottom people and Matt, do you want to give Mike a roasting on everyone's behalf?
We need to talk about this. I would love to put together a montage of all the times throughout the year that Mike said that Harry is guaranteed to have the wooden spoon in our tipping competition. He's been saying it all year. I think the montage would go too long. It'd be too long to edit. And now the new man in the last spot is Mike. Harry's ahead by 1. They said it couldn't be done. Hell, he may even get even higher. Who knows? But yeah, Mike, again, we're ragging on you because you're not here, but let's be real, man. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
He's so upset he ran away to Tasmania. That's why he's not even here.
He's gone to Tasmania, said he doesn't have reception. Meanwhile, this guy here joined the podcast in the fucking Saigon airport. What's going on?
Boundaries do not limit access. This is what limits your access.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all in here. It's all in here. All right, Ben. We should start talking football because I think probably the hottest topic from over the weekend, which it was a great weekend of footy, absolutely. But I think
I don't like the Roosters game, but we'll get to that.
I know, not
for the reason, not because the Roosters didn't win, just in general.
Well, that's it. That is my first topic of conversation because it's the most recent game we've had. 7 Sinbins in one game. It's a new record, by the way. They've never had 7 Sinbins in one game. The game was constantly threatening to devolve into an all-out brawl. I personally find it a bit hard to argue with most of the Sinbins, but I do feel like some of them were more of a deterrent to possible fights that would have broken out. Like if any get sent off, like the next tackle, there was going to be a fight. How did you see the game? You're a Rooster supporter. 3 of your players got knocked out or injured in the game. What were your thoughts?
Here's my thoughts.
Hold on to your butts.
Fuck the bunker. Fuck South. Fuck the referee. And to some extent, actually fuck the Roosters too. I can't believe I'm saying that. This is my view on it. Basically, fuck everyone. So when Radley got sin-binned, the precedent was set very early on in the match, and it was set quite low. And basically, how I see it, and probably you'll agree, is that because it was set so low, they had to keep sticking to that standard for that game, right? Well, the referee thought they had to stick to that standard for that game. And then the South players were intentionally staying and waiting, because they knew the ref wasn't going to call it. They knew the ref wasn't going to call it. They were just waiting for the bunker to intervene, because the bunker rules on a more black and white. Was there contact to the head, right? They don't necessarily look at the level of severity and the context behind it then until it goes to like the post-game review. But in the moment, and then they knew they weren't injured. Like, it bothers me that they're slowing down the play to wait, all right, bunker, yep, okay, and then the referee has to fucking Sinbin him. The bunkers ruin the game. The bunker needs to stick to tries only when the referee doesn't know. But they've taken away the referee's power to referee, and the referees don't have to think as much. They're relying on the bunker, and it's just, it was warned by so many wise heads that this would eventuate in league, and I'm so upset that it's ruined. It's ruining, and potentially has ruined. Don't fucking smirk. I'll wipe that off your face, cunt. It's ruined. It's ruined our beloved game, and I blame the Roosters because they also lost their heads, but I think it was on the back of that, and I think that the game would have gone very differently had those sin bins not happened, and had we also not lost fucking Tedesco so early on.
Well,
I'm gutted. I'm gutted. Fucking go the Sharks. That's what I say.
Go the Sharks, yeah. So that was going to be a question for me later, but which team would be jump on the bandwagon now? I like the Sharks too.
How do you feel about that? Sorry, how do you feel about that game?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's a tricky one. I think for me, the thing that I was most disappointed about wasn't all the sin bins. It was just the fact that 3 Roosters players got taken out of the game. Tedesco, the Roosters' most important player, he went out so early. So we were kind of a little bit robbed of a top tier, both teams at full strength contest. Angus went off and Daniel Tupou went off. And even though I think the Roosters probably deserved to win in the game, it could have been better. It could have been so much better. It was still an entertaining game.
No football was played. Didn't you notice that no actual footy was played?
Well, yeah, that's right. It was just a brawl, basically. Not a brawl, but it was just a push and shove. It was lots of stoppages. Yeah. So, anyways, it was still an entertaining game. I will say this. Post game, I loved how Latrell was getting interviewed by Brad Fittler on the field after the game, and pretty much the only people who left.
Say his name to me.
I'm sorry, but the only people who were left in the stadium were Souths fans, and he went on the TV to get interviewed, and before he could say a single word, the crowd just started roaring, and Latrell was getting emotional just standing there while the stadium was cheering for him. I'll put up the footage right here because it gave me goosebumps.
Congratulations, second week of the semi-finals. How does that feel?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, the Rabbitohs are through. The Roosters are out, and the Storm are out. I think I saw some stat today. It's the first time since 2005 or something that the Roosters and the Storm haven't made it. Either the Roosters or the Storm haven't made it the second week of the finals. So, end of an era, maybe, perhaps. Speaking of new eras, did you watch the Panthers Eels game, and did you watch Nathan Cleary literally go full Joey Jones that game?
I only watched I had it on, but I was distracted, so I never gave it full focus. And I watched the other game. Like, I had it on the whole time. I was just not paying attention because I was super busy, and I've been meaning to rewatch that. Because I didn't get a chance to rewatch it fully before today.
Well, the big story from that game is that Nathan Cleary, he came back from his 5-game suspension. Concerns it could be rusty. Maybe need to get some fitness back. But he put in arguably a 10 out of 10 performance. Like it was Joey Johns, it was Jonathan Thurston levels of a game.
He was been training with the boys the whole time anyway.
Training for the boys, but maybe just freshening his body up. He just came out ready to go. He laid on tries, broke the line. He kicked for 627 meters, which is a ridiculous amount of kick meters. So I guess the question is, he's been considered the best halfback in the game for a year or two, but is this the moment where he announces himself that he's going to be one of the greats of the game by taking the Panthers back to back? I think he won Clive Churchill in the grand final last year, if I remember correct. He might do it again. What do you think?
I think, without a doubt, unless chewing ice, unless something dramatic happens, if he strings together, 6 or 7 more years at this level until he's in his 30s, he will 100%. He'll go down with the Joey Johnses and all that for sure. All
right. Then, well, should we get into this week's games?
Do we have anything else to fucking rip on Mike about, or do you think he's had enough?
Let's bring him up again later. Okay, let's start the show and we'll end the show with him.
Yep.
Let's get into the games. The first game, it's on Friday night. It's the Parramatta-Eels hosting the Raiders at Bankwest Stadium. My first thoughts, actually, you know what? I'm going to go to you first on this, Benjamin. What are your thoughts on this game?
Fuck the Eels.
Fuck the Eels?
I'm on the fuck the Eels bandwagon all year. They do have a pretty good record at that stadium. Great record, actually, against the Raiders. But something's telling me about a Raiders smoky again.
What are you doing? You cleaning your desk or something?
You can't see it.
Yeah, no, you're doing this. You're like this, and I can see you moving an arm.
What if I was doing this? What does this look like?
Well, I'd be very pleased if you did that. Bit of milk.
Where's the dress? I need a dress.
You've frozen on my screen in a hilarious pose. But sorry, well, as you were saying, fuck the Eels, go the Raiders.
Yeah. Raiders by 10 points.
Raiders by 10.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, wow. I like it. I mean, the Eels are notorious for choking in the finals. We know this. They've done it for a few years now.
Do we know if Moses is going to be back?
He's been named, but he still needs to pass all the protocols through the week. So I don't think we've had a confirmation one way or the other just yet.
Listen, if Moses plays, I might do a last minute switcheroo. But even still, like, my last minute switcheroos haven't worked out well for me on average. Probably, lose 3-1 on those switcheroo boys. So I'll probably, I've said the Raiders, I think, for better or for worse, I'm gonna have to stay with them because I could totally see swapping to the Parramatta and just having them absolutely fuck me again. Like, it's just a little, woo. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, this is a really hard one to tip because I'm really scared of the Raiders. Like, they've got nothing to lose. Like, they're probably full of confidence. They beat the Storm in Melbourne for the 5th straight time, by the way, which is a pretty crazy stat. Ricky Stewart himself said in the press conference that they have nothing to lose and no one expects them to do anything in the finals. And if anything, that's probably good for them because, like, there's like no pressure almost. Well, there's less pressure than other teams. For the Eels, yeah, obviously, waiting to see if Mitch Moses plays. If he doesn't play, I'd probably be keen to tip the Raiders in this game. I do think he probably will play, though.
Eels just choke on the hype. Can we do something? That D20 behind you, can you roll it? Yep. Yeah, 1 to 10. The Raiders win 11-20, the Eels win. And can we do that for the next game as well? So
right.
lower half is Raiders, higher half is Eels.
Yeah.
I
tell you what we'll do is we'll do your tip, my tip, Mike's tip, because you tell me, and then we'll tell you what the dice tipped. And
Yes,
we'll see
please.
we'll see who did the best. Okay, so you're on the Raiders. I think for this game, Eels against the Panthers last week, they were in the game until they gave up plenty of field position, drop balls, and then Cleary took control. They were on tilt and they were blown away late.
This is going to be such a battle of the forwards.
I think so too. Both forwards are in very good form. But I think with the Eels, they have not lost 2 games in a row all year. They lost last week. I like patterns. So I'm going to go with the Eels by 2 points. And Mike agrees with me. He also is tipping the Eels. And let's see who the dice selects. So what do you say? 1-10 Eels, 11-20 Raiders?
No, the other way around.
Okay, 1-10 Raiders.
Yeah, home team gets the high half.
You got it. Okay. All right. Ready? It's rolling. It's bouncing. 17. It's Parramatta Eels.
Fuck.
The dice says Parramatta Eels.
Dice never lies.
The dice don't lie. All right, let's go to the next game. The other knockout final match.
Ring them up. Tell them to not even bother playing.
What? Oh, you mean because of the dice?
Yeah. Ring the NRL. Say cancel the game.
It's been decided. Okay, Saturday night. This game is at Allianz Stadium, the new refurbished Allianz, which you have been to. The Sharks are hosting the Rabbitohs, although it's probably more of a Rabbitohs home game. I expect 80% of the crowd to be Bunnies fans at this one. Sharks, Rabbitohs, what are your feelings in your gonads, Benjamin, on this game?
This is a pure emotional based tip, which is absolutely stupid. I can't bring myself to tip the Rabbitohs this week. Mm-hmm. Whether I win or lose, tipping the Sharks. I also think overall the Sharks have been the better team for the year. Check the weather. Do me a favor, check the weather.
I've already done it. I've already checked it.
Raining, right?
Mostly sunny. I know. It throws a spanner in the works, doesn't it?
Well, we're waiting.
Sharks by 6 points.
Sharks by 6. I believe this is also our margin game for this week as well. So it's going to be very important, considering that I've got a better margin than you and Mitch. So important what we put in there. I think for this game, I really wonder how both of these teams' previous games are going to affect them in this game. The Sharks played for 93 minutes against North Queensland before eventually losing to them.
They're battered this week.
They might be. Meanwhile, the Rabbitohs played a game which is very stop-start. But also interesting for me about this game, looking at the team lists, the Sharks have a very heavy bench in terms of weight. They got 4 forwards on their bench, while the Rabbitohs, they've lost Tom Burgess. He's suspended. So Michael Cheekham, who's more of a back row or center cover, replaces him on the bench. They've got a very light mobile bench, like a bench utility. So it's be interesting to see how the benches affect this game. I think for me, it was a slight Rabbitohs win. I was going to tip the Rabbitohs until Tom Burgess got suspended, even though it's mostly sunny for this game.
That dopey cunt's overrated.
I think with Tom, the main thing is about what he brings is his size. He just runs in the line. You just need a big player. I think the Sharks are bigger across the park, and if they lean into that, Nico dominates. Sharks win, but by 1 point. I think it's a Nico.
You're tipping the Sharks by 1 point.
Sharks by 1 point. Nico gets a field goal.
Even with the dry weather.
Well, that's the thing. That if it was raining, it would be Sharks by 14. But because it's dry, it's a tight game. Mike is also on the Sharks. His margin is going to be 4 points for this game. And now I'm going to roll the dice. The dice decide. So
home team?
Home team is Sharks. So Sharks high, Rabbitohs low. Bear with me. It's rolling. 12 Sharks.
All right, we did it. We did it, boys.
Eels, Sharks. Oh, well, two really good games, which I'm very, very excited to see. And I think either one of them could go either way. At this point in the podcast, it's probably best for you to put on your earmuffs, Ben, because I'm going to talk about the W.
No, I'm going to do W. I'm going to do W.
You're going to do W? Well, you're doing it because you need to tip it right, don't you? Yeah, you got to get
There's more W this week than M.
I know.
It's all dubs.
The W is going to decide our competition. Okay, so first game, Broncos Eels. Mike is tipping the Broncos here, and I do agree with him because, I mean, I can't argue with A, fuck the Eels, and B, they're the only side in the W this year who have not won a single game. I think it's hard to tip them. I got to go Broncos. What do you think?
Yeah, fuck the Eels across the board, across all genders and ages. I am also, it's not going to help the tipping comp, but I'm going to tip the Broncos. Home game. Yeah, it is what it is. Broncos.
It is what it is.
I'm not gonna fucking roll the dice on this one.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. Actually, no. The dice only should be used sparingly. For the next game, Titans host the Roosters. Titans snuck a win over the Eels last week to keep a very faint finals hopes alive, but the Roosters, they're undefeated. They're reigning champs and they're undefeated this year. I think you have to go with the Roosters. Mike is
Roosters
also
are going to go back to back.
Roosters going back to back. They need to make amends for the male Roosters failure this year.
Come on, girls, let's fucking do it.
Yeah. And the third game, Dragons are hosting the Knights. Both teams have 3 wins this season, so I think this is the game that could tip our tipping competition one way or the other. This is a really hard one to tip, but for this one, I am going to go with the Knights. And that may be a case of just the fact that as I famously have said many times, the Dragons are the most boring club in the NRL for me. So I just I don't care. I just don't give a shit about them. Mike's also on the Knights. What are you thinking?
Go on the Dragons. Let's mix it up.
Yep, I like it. All right, let's talk comments.
On our last the comments, that was our tips, guys. Do you want to recap the tips?
Oh, okay, sure. So recapping tips.
This is why we need Mike. Bring your fucking greasy hood back, you cunt.
Mike and I are both on the Eels, as is the dice. Ben, you are on the Raiders.
Yep.
For the next game, I believe we are all on the Sharks. Yeah, me, Mike, you, and the dice are all going Sharks.
Yep.
And then we are all on the W Broncos. We're all on the W Roosters. Mike and I are on the Knights, and you are on the Dragons dub.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Comments. We received 2 comments on our last video. Only two this week. Our first comment comes from a longtime commenter, Jeff Stee. No, his name is Jeff Stern. He says,
"No, it's not."
He says, like the Queen of England, Ben doesn't come, he arrives. Would you agree with this?
I don't get it.
It's maybe a little bit abstract.
Nah, I'm too dumb for that.
No, I don't think maybe it's abstract. I think it's just I think it's a dad joke gone wrong. Sorry, Jeff.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Okay, and then we got a comment. You're gonna like this one. We got a comment
I read it.
Yeah, from Adam Garreau. He says, Ben is the best of you clowns. Fucking legend. Roosters are shit though. Yeah, I don't know. Do you give this comment a thumbs up or a thumbs down in your opinion?
thank you. Fuck off, but then also thank you. Don't watch us anymore. You're banned. You're banned, Adam, from this podcast. So
He's your number one fan.
No, you're banned.
He calls you a fucking legend.
Oh, how could I stay mad at you, Adam?
Yeah.
Call me.
Oh,
No, go fuck yourself. Thank you very much for your comments, Adam and Jeff, whatever your fucking name is. Appreciate your constant support. Tell your grandmas to watch us, like and subscribe. You know they'll love it. That's all I got to say.
Ben, I wonder, what is like, do you have like family like reunions or anything? Like, what's your extended family like?
Dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That's it's just got really dark all of a sudden.
We don't. I was born in the gutter, and I'll die in the gutter.
I wonder, because your dad is a very singular, unique individual. I just wonder, like, was he unique among your family, or like is everyone in your family just like sarcastic wizards of chaos?
I would say that it's gone like generationally. It's exponential. Like it just. I would hate to see what my kids like. Jesus Christ. I've actually got quite a small family. I don't have any grandparents. I have no brothers or sisters. I'm a lone wolf in this world. And that's why I need to find solace in a football team that disappoints me every year.
You should become a Titans fan. It's way more fun. Because
I've got enough suicidal thoughts. I don't need them.
they don't get your hopes up. It's just like, if you come 15th, you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then when you come 8th, you're like, holy shit, like we're the best team in the league. It's a really good having like a lower baseline.
So it's sort of like my parents' expectations of me.
Yeah. Oh, you said it.
I'm Jeffy's little Titan.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, boy.
Is that a wombat?
That's a wombat. Yeah.
Can I see? Can we show everyone at home that wombat? Because I've been looking at that and all.
Okay, so this is the wombat doorstop.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's just
Ladies
a
and gentlemen,
wombat.
Put your bid in the comments below for that wombat. I'm going to start bidding at $15.
It's not for
sale. Will you let him go for $15?
Absolutely not. He costs like $40. It's
$30. It's secondhand though.
It's very heavy. It's very heavy. It's filled with like sand or beans or something. It's an actual doorstop.
Have you ever thought about hollowing it out and inserting a fleshlight into it?
I'm going to now.
Fleshlight wombat.
I feel
title.
I feel like Katie would be very upset with me if I did do that. But what she doesn't know won't hurt her. You know what I'm saying? She's just over there, by the way. She's just in the laundry, just listening to me. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna fuck the wombat. I'm not gonna do it.
No, you're fucking the fleshlight inserted into the wombat.
Yeah, I know, but we both know who's really getting fucked. It's the wombat. Okay, here's a question for you.
Serious note.
If you had to get fucked by any animal in the animal kingdom that's not a human, don't need a little loophole with that shit. Any current living animal, which animal would you get fucked by?
Are they penetrating me anally?
Yes, they're penetrating you anally and maybe a little bit in the mouth as well.
Two hours later.
Bison.
A bison. Wow, that's That's an interesting pick.
I was going to go with bear, but then I thought like the claws and stuff, I'd probably get like really hurt. I think a bison, like a bison's one of those ones that like if it's in a good mood, it could be quite tender.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I love it. Just
yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I like it. I don't know if I would agree with you on that. I think for me, what I'm going to go with is, well, let's be real. Like you're getting, not only are you getting fucked in the ass, but you're getting fucked in the ass by a member of the animal kingdom who's probably not going to be super gentle with you. I think it's going to be a terrible experience. So in some ways I want to make it somewhat enjoyable. It's not going to be enjoyable sexually, but I think it's going to be enjoyable if it's funny. And for that reason, I'm going to pick like I believe it's called a gibbon. Basically what the sound you just made. Pretty much like those monkeys go like those. Like I can imagine getting fucked by that and then just going with the neck going like that. And I could maybe just have a laugh about it.
Otter for some reason.
No, an otter I don't think you could even feel it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the gibbon just because I think it would distract me from what's happening.
Which animal that you would like to have or accept to fuck you? Let us know. We'll read those out next week. I like that question. All right, I got one more question to you before we wrap it up. Which NRL player, current, would you turn gay for?
Oh, that's a really good question. There are a couple undeniable hot boys in the league. Which one would I turn gay for? I think as much as I love Cameron Murray's Baby Blues, I think I would have to go with Nico Hines, just because
you'd go the soft gentle one, not the hard one.
I think I would go Nico Hines just because he's a gorgeous human, lovely wet hair, but he also seems like a really like good bloke. Like he just seems really nice, very well spoken, intelligent. Material. Exactly. He's absolutely boyfriend material. Like, I don't want to just like, if I'm turning, you know what I mean? Like changing my sexuality, I want to do it for a really good reason. And if I want a forever boy. So I'm going Nico. What about you?
That's interesting because I wouldn't know which one of you would be like the dominant one. You both like...
he'd be dominant. He'd be dominant for sure.
He'd be the dominant one.
Oh God.
Jesus.
I can't argue with it.
See? If you picked like a Sam Walker or something, you could be top.
I would just feel like I would be breaking the law if that was the case.
With the baby wizard.
He's the baby wizard. He's looks younger than 18. But yeah, are you picking a big bear? Like, do you want a Jared Hargraves just to like throw you around?
Hargraves. Oh no, I can't go Hargraves. Maybe Valentine Holmes.
Val Holmes? Yeah, he's pretty as well.
Holmes. I was going to go Talakai, but I thought that's too bearish. Too rusty.
Yeah, I feel like Talakai, Talakai's all torso. Like his torso is so thick that I feel like you want someone with just like maybe slightly longer limbs to do a good reach around, you know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments who you would turn gay for in the NRL, only if you're a dude or else it's not relevant. If you're already gay and you're watching this, let us know which W player you would turn straight for.
That's also a good question. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I think that was a really good episode. I feel like, I don't know, there's something weird about this episode. It just feels different and better than all of our other episodes. What do you think?
Definitely a different energy, but not in a bad way. Like, Mike is like chili in soup. Like, it's not bad, but like, I don't know. That's a bad example.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you would never like to see Mike on this podcast again, let us know. We'll take your comments on board. But Mike is a foundational pillar of this podcast. And as much as we've ripped on him today, a fabric, and ideally miss him a lot. It's hard. I feel like a bit of a bully ripping on him, not to his face. In saying that, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, Ben. Like every time that you weren't here, we were ripping on you as well. And the same, if I miss a podcast, God forbid, you guys are rip on me too. So that's just.
You wouldn't miss a podcast. You'd be in a hospital bed and still doing it.
No, yeah, you're right. I would feel really bad.
You should ask Katie now that if you were ever in a coma, that we just wheel a camera to your bed, and even if we would just be like, Matt, what do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, but I'd be perfectly center. That's the wrap up of Just the Tip. Don't forget to tip with your head, not over it. And we love you.
Bye, fuckers.